Okay, so this is about the the tracking setup. So there are two kinds of tracking you will find very useful. One is the web, one is the server. So whenever you implement any kind of web tracking, here you will see, or browser tracking, what we call. So here you will see uh, it says it will say browser. Whenever you use conversions API and uh, uh, server tracking, or so Metapixel is the browser, conversions API is the server. So it is usually a good practice to take both server and browser data, because server data doesn't get blocked by cookies, and server also tracks in incognito and all those things. Okay, so here you can see, so each and every event is being recorded. So who clicked, who scrolled, who there was a video on the landing page as well. So who clicked on, or who progressed the video, who completed the video. Of course, purchase is there. Uh, so this is what add to cart is. Someone who clicks on the link and goes to the Razor Pay payment page. So that is kind of but so here's the thing. So now how to do this? So here you have three tools, and I'll try to cover server and browser in two different courses. Okay. So browser is very much straightforward. It's quite easy. But of course, there are lots of nuances of tracking clicks and then creating click element and all those things. Server is where you will need to, so there are two ways of going server. So here, if you see, the, your base tracking will always be tag manager. Okay, be very clear about this. Never use GA4, even though I have a course on GA4, and where it is very easy to create events and then just track them. But GA4 is very inaccurate in tracking. So it will track like one click 5 times, and one purchase 5 times, and one lead submit 7 times. So there is very inaccurate tracking, because Google originally started Google Analytics 4 as an analytics tool, not as a tracking tool. Okay, so just to so I think I have the GA4 open as well. Sorry. Okay. By the way, I don't use GA4 much. Uh, just for the simple reason that it's highly inaccurate. But there is one very good use case of GA4, and Google specially has said that they miss transactions, they miss conversions. Okay, GA4 was originally started as an analytics tool. It is still an analytics tool. So if you want to analyze present reports, it's good in presentation. Okay, but it's not very good in it's not very good in tracking. Okay, and it is not very good in enhanced conversions. Okay, so so your base, your foundation will always be tag manager. Okay. Now, what to do in the tag manager? If I can create this server container, so you need three things. You need a server container. So as you see, this container type is web. This is server. You need a server container in GA4. Sorry, in GTM. Okay. You need a server container in GTM. You need a bridge. Okay, a bridge, something like Step. Step is one of the, like by far, the very budget friendly uh, bridge for tracking. And I'll tell you why it is budget friendly. So this is Step.io. And then, of course, a third element is your actual website. Okay, where you will have to put the pixel or track the events. Okay, so there are three elements, and then there's a fourth element, which is the actual uh, actual ad account, be it Google, be it Meta. Okay, so there are actually four elements here. Now, if let's say you want to set up server to server tracking, okay, which of course the name implies it's very accurate compared to web. If you want to implement it using GTM only, okay, using tag manager only, then it will cost you upwards of $50 per month. Okay, this is because every server tracking needs a dummy server. Okay, so as you see, this is a meta capic, and I'll set up a fresh one. So there is a gateway, and the gateway has to use a dummy server, which if you take from Google directly, it will cost you $50 plus, like per month. On the other hand, Step can give you a dummy server, provided everything is integrated. It will give you the dummy server at around $10 per month. Okay. Uh, the only thing with Step, which I see, is that they have a credit card slash debit card issue where they can't sort of uh, auto debit from a debit card, something like that. Okay, so you see here, this is so here when you start with GTM. Always start with GTM. Okay, so if you see, okay, so when you create a container, so let's say if I can create a container. Okay, so this is I'm doing everything from scratch, but okay, so let's see. So here, let's say I start with capability S2 S2. Okay, I can choose any country I want. Preferably, you choose the country where you have the highest amount of visitors. Okay, and that is kind of a no-brainer. Okay, now here is my website. So this is container name. So basically, you can give it any name you want. And here, you see, here you choose server. iOS, Android, AMP, these are all for apps, and I'm not getting into apps right now because apps are complete different beast. So when you create the server, so this is a container which you are making, and this container will have all your tags and triggers and everything like that. Okay, so when you start this, okay, here it says automatically provision tagging server. Okay. So this tagging server, sorry. So so basically this tagging server would come from state, okay, which provides you with the dummy CRM, dummy server. Okay, so I'll create one more gateway, and so now don't get confused because there are so many platforms. Your three major platforms are Meta, then State, and then GTM. Okay, so now when you come up to this, basically I made the wrong choice, so it would be something like this. Click start up, and then here it will be not the web container, but here it will be a server container. So we will manually provision that, manually use the this thing. Now create a gateway. So here, if you see, Meta is asking me to create a signals gateway again. When you set up the account, it will automatically ask for a conversions API gateway. Okay, this is fine. Just create the account. But here I'm going into this Meta KPI gateway. Okay, so okay, I can give it a name I want. Create the gateway. Okay, so now you see, this is what I told you. Okay, $10 a month, and this is per month per pixel. So if you are using, obviously one ad account will have one pixel. So basically, it's $10 for the entire month. Okay, so start a 7-day trial. It will basically deduct uh, $10 after 7 days. So that is completely fine. Um, input the start your free trial. Okay. Mm. So it is basically asking me to do the same thing, and I'll just try setting up a new account. I already have that. Uh, okay. So create a good password when you do it. I'm just setting this up for illustration purposes. Okay. Now, so see, these three things should come together. One is your dummy server from state.io. The other is the Meta CAPI gateway. Okay. And the last is your GTM server container. Okay, these three elements should be connected. Okay, now how do I do this? So here, add data source, use Facebook, login. Okay, it's basically asking for your Facebook page. So user recommended, it just makes things easier. Now I have to give the correct data set, which is 9935. So this is 9935. Okay, so the data set has been connected. Now we have one major task to do, which is we have to connect the server container from GTM to uh, the CAPI gateway. Okay. 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 So now this is live. So if I refresh here, it should say it is connected. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So here is now see my Meta CAPI gateway and stay has been connected. Okay. It was actually connected earlier, but I just made a fresh one. So it was connected. Uh, and I connected it again now. Now the only thing left is to connect the step and the GTM server. Okay. So when I want to do that, okay, take this API key. Okay, it will show you API key. I'm not using this new server container because the new server container is not yet set up. It is the container is very easy to set up. It's not a big uh, deal. Right. Okay. So there was server container setting, tagging server. Okay. Yeah. So see, here is what we do is since this server container is already set up, it becomes easier to understand. Is you get since you are using step as the this thing as the one which is providing the dummy server. So the server containing URLs will come from state. The container configuration is where you drop the API key. Okay. Now, I cannot integrate one more server because I don't know if the current one will break. But I am sure I can show you how this whole thing. So here, conversions API. Hmm. Okay. So uh, it's not necessary to right now go for these events, but there is one thing which is domain associated with this business. Yes. Hmm. So here is something that you have to follow the instructions right, like as you see it, is you have to create a CNAME record. Again, I can't create it right now because I already have the connection. I don't want to create a duplicate one. So a CNAME record with your this thing. Now this is since my is hosted on Hostinger, so I do it on Hostinger. So you do the root domain, use a little bit of Chat GPT, just take the screenshot, throw it into Chat GPT, and just let it direct you. So because it's the whole thing is that you have to get these three elements connected. Okay, your GTM server container, which is here, your GTM server container with the server containing URLs. The second is your state, and the third is your conversions API, which is the Meta Conversions API gateway or CAPI, which we call. So once you do this and continue, you your conversions API and your so this is basically for data routing. So what you are doing is You have the dummy domain and you have the Meta KPI gateway and you have state. So your dummy domain is being connected to the Meta KPI gateway, which is this. Okay. And your your state is already connected to the your GTM server container. Okay, so this is how the whole thing gets connected. Now, once server gets connected, then you have to go into testing events or setting up, let's say, you know, test events and all these things. So this is again where, so here you see, if you run this test, I do have a secured HTTPS, but it takes a lot of time to load. Okay, so here, if you see, if you let's say test any event, you this is click on CTA. Then I have, of course, I'm scrolling, so scroll should also get active. Then I am, let's say, clicking. Okay. Uh, then what are the events? Click anything here. So all these things should get recorded. So here is the thing. Okay. So once you test events, this is very important. If anything doesn't get tested, or let's say it doesn't show up here, okay, then you have to go back to, let's say, you can use ChatGPT, you can uh, prompt it correctly, and there is no shame in using ChatGPT because it understands the technical integrations. Okay, so here if you see, because my browser, so you see these are all received from browser. Whatever I did just now, I tested the events. These are all coming from the browser. Okay, so which is the thing that I told you initially, is there are two sources. One is browser, one is server. So if it comes from the server, then you will have server written here. That's as simple as that. So you see the events which got tracked is scroll, CTA clicked, which is when I clicked on the CTA. Then there is click, then is page view, view content, and again page view. Okay, so so most of the events on my website are being tracked properly. The only thing which is left is the server integration, which is what I try and complete just now. Okay, so I need to get. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I just reset the password because it got locked out. Okay. Yeah. Um, I will remember the password this time. So, okay. So, hmm, okay. So this is done. Data routing, partner integrations. Okay. So where is the recent app? So you see, this one was like disabled, so I have created a new one. So here is the thing. So API gateway. So this is actually very easy. Is you need a GA4 measure, which I think is useless, but somehow they have integrated GA4 as well. Is just click on measurement ID. So your GA4, your GTM needs to be on your website. Okay. So you see here, you get this measurement ID. Uh, there is something wrong here. If you choose this, Google, it will be cloud resources. It will cost you like whatever, $50 and something. So choose tape, proceed. Okay. So mm, this is it was probably caching for the first time. So since this is publishing in progress and everything is green check marks here, so this will get completed. Uh, this Google Analytics measurement ID is like you just have to put the GA4 tag in your website. Okay. If it is WordPress, like I use, it is in the footer section, and there are plugins where you can use to put it on the footer section on every page, but it has to be the GTM and the GA4 has to be on every page on your website, including the server, the thank you page, which is even if it is not indexed, it has to be there. So you see here now I have connected the conversions API with the tag manager. Okay, so I'll just refresh this. Okay, so you see here it is showing all the events which has happened. So this looks fine. So if I go back to the event activity, and so you see here, so now, so previously if you compare, I was to I had only metapixel. Now it shows both like multiple sources. Okay, metapixel and conversions API. This integration will be multiple, and here it will you will also get a event match quality. Okay, the higher the better, of course. Uh, if you have a event, so event match quality only comes when you have server tracking. Please remember this. Okay, it shows the quality of data that you are sending back to Meta, which includes everything about the user. Okay, not only their Facebook account, but their browsing history, their browsing behavior, everything. So ideally, your event match quality should be 8 and above. Okay, yes, the you see this page view 6.2. This is not a good event match quality. Okay, but with time, since my server connection uh, was disrupted earlier, I have started it again. So you see this event match quality, it will improve, and more traffic comes. You will see this going up to 9, and usually when your event match quality is 8 to 9, then it your campaigns will automatically perform better. Okay, this is one advantage that you have with Meta is the more data you pass, the deeper data you pass, that is 8, 8.3, 9, 9.5. The deeper data you pass, the better your this thing will be. Okay, now I'll just test events for now. Um, so where is that? This is the previous one that I tested, and you will see this deduplication. This can also be done through GTM. Okay. Uh, I am looking to test events again, which is uh, clear activity. Mm, okay. I think this test is enough. So I just take the actual URL. Okay, so there would be page view, there will be scroll, okay, and there will be clicks, uh, just more clicks. So there is, so I'll test more clicks, and I will also test the CTA. Okay, now, so these are still coming from the browser. Okay, I'll test the website events are usually browser, so that is there. Huh. Mhm. Yeah, so this is taking to the Graph AI Explorer. So I don't want to get into the this thing. I don't want to get into the developers Facebook. Okay, but here is a proof that if let's say you have server and browser, then it will be integration source will be multiple. Okay. So now this is the last bit in the this thing, in the server container is your this is the capability as well. This is my server container. So if you go into server container and you have to create a new tag which is for conversions API. This is the part where you connect the GTM server container to the meta conversions API. Okay, using the state dummy domain. Okay, so see here you have to you go into gallery uh, like when you make a new tag, let's say tag, go into this gallery conversions API tag, conversions API tag, use it to create this tag. Now here permission, these are automatically selected, but if it doesn't, you have to use this thing. Allowed URLs, graph.facebook, reads event data, you have to select to any. So all events must be allowed. Then cookie values is FBPG. So this is actually specific. So these I think most of it comes along with the conversions API. So these are tag permissions. Then is the pixel ID. The pixel ID is the same as here, which is the pixel you created. Then you have the API access token. Now, usually it gives you this thing. Usually it gives you the instructions of how to generate API access token. But if you don't know, okay, go into the overview. Okay, you can also do it through developersfacebook.com, or you can do it through events manager. So go into events manager. When you set up initially, okay, you will get the settings section where you have to generate the API access token that will only be generated once. Okay, that will only be generated. The API access token, which you see here, it will only be generated once. Where's that go? GTM. Huh. So this API access token will only be generated once, and then the trigger. Now this is important. You have to set up the trigger. The trigger automatically will be Facebook Conversions API. This is the API server trigger. Okay, and I don't know why it is showing blank, but this has to be done only once. Okay,